This is what happens when you work to change things, and first they think you're crazy, then they fight you, and then all of a sudden you change the world.
Fortune went all in on the Theranos story. I mean, the notion that with a single pinprick you could get blood and do many dozens of blood tests at one time at a much lower cost was compelling, as it was obviously to your funders. We put you on, I think we were the first magazine to put you on the cover. We even put, so it was kind of a shock to us to discover a few weeks ago that you're really only doing one test with that pinprick. Do you think the hype, did we both let the hype get ahead of the story if you're only doing one test?
It was clear to everyone working on the machine that it needed a lot more work before it was ready.
When I was there, we could not complete any test accurately on the devices that we were manufacturing. They're finger pricked with a small amount of blood. Then they'd be let out of the room, they'd go have a meeting, go have lunch, whatever, and at which point an engineer would run in the room, grab the cartridge, bring it out to the lab.
So was the Edison doing the testing?
No, absolutely not.
Who was doing the testing?
It was scientists at the bench.
We are the only lab company that is actually really focused on leading with transparency.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Holmes, the founder and CEO of Theranos, and company president Sunny Balwani were indicted on charges of fraud and conspiracy to commit wire fraud.
Once Silicon Valley's fastest rising star is now under the harsh glare of a very different kind of spotlight. She's finally forced to answer to the Securities and Exchange Commission. Suddenly, the woman who always seemed to have all the answers now had none.
I don't know specifically. I'm not sure. I don't know exactly. I just don't know.
Listen as Holmes repeatedly takes the fifth on advice of counsel while being deposed by an attorney representing late-stage Theranos investors who sued her, the company, and Balwani.
I'm going to follow my counsel's instruction. I'm going to follow my counsel's instructions. I'm following his instruction.
Same instruction.
Same response.
How big of a deal is this?
I think it's probably the most interesting fraud case I've dealt with. Bernie Madoff would be second.
And you think they're similar people?
I think they're very similar people.
Convicted Theranos founder Elizabeth Holmes left federal court knowing she's been sentenced to more than 11 years behind bars for defrauding investors of her blood testing startup.